The recent release of the Epstein files is something that's on everyone's mind right now. While most of our conversations are and should be focused on the victims, today's video is about Jeffrey Epstein, his wealth and power, and how that leads to corruption. My name's Caitlin, and on this channel we discuss all things political, including Trump, ICE, resisting fascism, class consciousness, Jeffrey Epstein, Palestine and Israel, and more. If any of that interests you, please click subscribe. Be on the lookout for future videos because I'm definitely going to be talking a lot about these subjects. What I'm going to be talking about today in this video is not so much the contents of what we've discovered in the files, but a much bigger, broader problem that I'm seeing. The environment that this was able to be executed and perpetuated and still continues to be covered up, that's what I find concerning beyond all the horrors that actually exist inside the files. As some of you may know if you've been following, this goes way beyond sex trafficking, etc. Jeffrey Epstein was able to make all these connections with high-profile people, billionaires. He was welcomed happily into spaces that those with less money would be able to enter, and he was able to have access to way more opportunities. It appears that Jeffrey's connection with all these individuals went beyond just the crimes they enjoyed committing with each other. It was also alleged that he had cameras all over his mansion and his island. It's speculated that perhaps he was recording all these crimes being done and could use that as blackmail with those that he was affiliated with to keep them all connected and keep this project going. There's even speculation that Jeffrey worked in intelligence and had several connections with foreign governments. For me, this goes beyond just the horrific crimes of sex children. This is a symptom of a much larger problem. The fact that a billionaire could get away with this was because he was a billionaire. Let's say that we took everyone down from the Epstein files, every single person in government, and we know that there's members from both parties involved in the Epstein files. Let's say we took them all down. Then we're left with like 5 people in the government. What then? This was systemic, dare I say institutionalized. I mean, the whole reason why they were able to do this was because they are hoarding so much wealth in the world. Their networking abilities, the spaces that they were allowed into, how wealth disparity can cause power dynamics in situations like this. After all, his victims were usually girls from middle to lower class families. They weren't children coming from money. Because after all, how would they be manipulated if that were the case? He bribed them with the prospect of money and career opportunities. He promised them to get into different industries that he had connections to, for example, modeling, art, dance. And we honestly don't have all the answers, but the amount of information we have just brings up so many questions. I mean, how did he even get his wealth? We don't even know why he's rich in the first place. It just sounds like he was a charismatic dude who charmed all these rich people to enter those spaces and have more opportunities. I don't fucking know. He was getting money from all these other sources, not just trafficking. And he's had his hand in so many pots, so of course he was able to keep the system going. But this is scary. This goes way beyond just gang violence or any other kind of criminal activity we hear about. This is our entire White House, the entire cabinet, basically. So many wealthy billionaires were involved in this, and that's why it's been still covered up. The President of the United States is all over that thing, for Christ's sake. So this is terrifying. This should be a huge wake-up call to all of you. We need to recognize that we need to organize and collaborate, and we need to understand that left and right shouldn't be as divided, and we should realize that left and right should ally together, because really what this should tell you is that the people in the top with the most power are controlling so much, and it's not based on ethics and morals or what's the best for the country, what's best for your children. No, this is for their own nefarious, selfish purposes. So you should wake up and realize that it's not left and right. It is in fact top down. And the structures we have are flawed. Things need to change. For one, why is it even possible that people can own billions of dollars? I can't even imagine what $1 million looks like. What does $1 million even look like? Let alone $1 billion. I don't think it's right that there's people who are hoarding that much of the world's wealth. Under capitalism, these massively wealthy people can use their wealth as a weapon against the vulnerable, against the poor, against the less fortunate. What child who's struggling to get any money is going to deny an opportunity to get $200 and they don't know any better about the dangers of connecting with these powerful men? Corruption is empowered and lifted up by having mass amounts of wealth. It doesn't mean that being wealthy is going to inherently make you evil, but those that are evil, having access to that much money, this is where it leads. And now we are in a situation where it's very hard to undo the damage. In fact, there is damage that can never be undone. But not only that, but it is going to be very hard to dismantle because it's so ingrained, and these people were geniuses. They were evil geniuses who were able to formulate a system that was just hell on earth. Let's see the wealth disparity in America. 97.5% of total American net worth was held by the top 50% in 2023. And it continues to be perpetuated because they've been able to keep these things in force. Without getting into too much detail, because I will be covering this in future videos, capitalism helps the ultra-wealthy have little to no limitations, and this is flawed. There's unlimited profit, ability to influence government, and there's practices such as redlining, just as an example, and just the ability to invest more when you have access to more wealth and afford more opportunities. Once again, being welcomed into spaces with other connections. They're probably actually going to follow through for you too, because you're wealthy and you're respected. So you're not going to become one of these victims. If you were a wealthier person, Jeffrey Epstein would be less likely to go after them because them going missing or being harmed would be seen way more significant in those circles. If they came from a wealthier family, they might have more of a reputation that is positive. There's people who desire money because they want to afford their next meal. There's people who want money because they want to afford their next Chanel bag. And then there's people like Jeffrey Epstein who want wealth because it allows them no limitations whatsoever. Their darkest desires can be achieved. I feel like most people don't think about what that really would be like. I mean, like I said, if I had millions of dollars, I can tell you what I would use that for. When we get to $1 billion, I mean, the possibilities are so endless. This goes beyond inequality. This is a force that allows for more and more inequality to snowball. With this recent drop, I hope it's a reminder to everyone that your politicians do lie to you when they say things like they want to clean up the streets of crime, they want to protect the children. This should make it clear to you that that's all bullshit. If that were true, they would have got these people off the streets already and arrested. And we're still waiting on that. This case is just so dark, deeply disturbing, doesn't even begin to cut it. I feel so sorry for all these victims. I don't even know what to say. I want to end this on a lighter note, and by that I mean making fun of Elon Musk, and also just bringing up once again that I'm psychic and I predicted these things. I mean, we all predicted it. It doesn't take a psychic to recognize. So Elon Musk, a few months ago, right, like, he drops his bomb, and I remember back then I was just like, he really thought he did something. Okay, Trump's in the Epstein files. Yeah, we knew. We been knew, girl. Not to use girl or she for Elon, but she really thought she did something. And then it's like, you know, now I'm looking at you for saying that because you had that information and you withheld it until it was convenient for you. Till you had a big feud with your buddy. Also not surprising, by the way. Oh wow, these narcissistic, egomaniacal men being friends. Yeah, we all predicted that would not last very long. And sure enough, and then we find out that he was in fact begging to go to the island. And this was, I'm still processing this. I mean, proof that that's Elon for sure, because who the hell still uses lingo like that? But, like, I'm sorry, Epic, or what was it? Epic Pedophile Island? Girls for the win? I just can't get over how cringe he is. This was just 4chan Island, low-key. Like, girl, what the... And that's actually one of the connections, too. Real kind of you to let us in, Elon, on who's on the Epstein files. But yeah, I hope that we can all wake up and agree that this administration is evil, just straight up evil, and that those of us with a conscience, those of us with heart who actually give a about the children in our country. I'm Canadian, by the way. I'm not even in America, but still. I just hope that we can kind of find a new way where wealth disparity is not perpetuating the worst atrocities known to humankind. It's so disturbing. And by the way, I want to bring up that this is not just a freaking left-wing thing. Bill Clinton is known to be in these files. We knew he was a fucking creep before too. Okay? I have no issue if it said tomorrow, Kamala on the files, girl, bye. No politician in my eyes is perfect. I don't care. Anyone who shows up on that, who is associated, anyone who went to the island, who went on the Lolita Express, you knew what you were doing. It's called the Lolita Express. You would have seen girls massaging, trigger warning. You would have seen girls doing that, hanging around. It doesn't even matter. They don't even need to be touching anyone. It's just like them hanging around is crazy. You should be clocking that and being like, if I went to a house party and there were 14-year-olds, my Uber's outside. Baby, my Uber's outside. Very harrowing things. What else can I say? I don't know what to say. Excuse me. You're all wrong. I'm sorry, I can't. You're done. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope I offer a unique perspective to this, but I think it's something that a lot of people might be waking up to. If you want to hear me yap more about the state of the world and America and everything just collapsing, and be sure to subscribe. We'll be covering Israel, Palestine, Epstein, ICE, MAGA, and whatever that orange bastard doing next. Every day there's something. So I will be back. I will be back here. And we will clock that tea. So stay tuned and give me a like if you liked what I had to say about this. And I will see you in the next one.